I'm excited about today's call. I'm excited about this young man. I'm excited about what he does. I'm excited about what he represents. I'm excited about his growth. I'm excited about he comes to share every week endlessly. I'm excited about he's going to be the youngest SVP in the company. But also, if we get all this great information, don't utilize it. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it, right? Without further ado, can we give a warm welcome? This young man came to America, start working at Applebee's. If I he make more money talking, using his mouth for a living than flipping burgers. Got started, didn't have to push him. He saw it, he ran with it. Matter of fact, he's one of those self starters we all want to get. Somebody who never calls us up line for very much of nothing. You tell him one time, he gets it done. You don't have to go after him 3 or 4 times. He gets it. He gets it done. And he's got a team that's going out there building like a snowball going down the hill without him. Have to call them. They're responsible. They're out there doing their own meetings. And he just actually just a great leader in directing his team on what to do and how to build. Without further ado, can we give a warm welcome to none other than regional vice president, the one and only Mr. Shakeel Cooper.
Appreciate it. Thank you again for all those kind words. And it was good meeting up with you a few weeks ago in Nashville. It's always a pleasure. And for the people on the call who don't know who I am, like Mr. Thomas did say, my name is Shakeel Cooper. I'm currently 31 years old. Got involved in this opportunity about 11 years ago with no big business background. Was just going to college at that time while working at a restaurant called Applebee's. Seen the opportunity through a close friend of mine. Got started right away. Made a lot of sense. Was able to go out there and build a big business. Went through the ups, the downs, everything that you can possibly go through while building a business. But the best part about it is because of the system that the company have put in place, we was able to build a large team. We have about almost like 2,500 business partners, thousands and thousands of customers, and that equals to a lot of billing volume every single month. So by you being part of the company, that's your ultimate goal, is to build a large team that not also go out there and get a lot of customers, but are really great at attending the events. So I know we've been talking all throughout the month, and today I just wanted to kind of summarize some notes for you guys today about everything that we talked about this month in order to go out there and build a successful business. So if you're taking notes, the number one thing you want to write down is define your goals. So again, it's about to be May. What is your goals for May? What is your goals for the next 5 months, next 6 months? What is your goal for the next 10 years? You got to write down your goals. So number one thing you got to do is set clear and achievable goals for your life, but not importantly, your business. So you need to set a bunch of different goals, right? You can even set up health goals, but your goal is to be setting up goals. Number two, build relationships. You want to start just going out there and just start building relationships with individuals that you didn't know before. It might be people that you probably seen that's doing big things. Just go up to them and just have a conversation and start building that relationship before you open and share the opportunity. Because if people like you and it makes sense, they're going to do it with you anyway. You don't have to convince people to do the business. Why? Because it just makes a lot of sense, right? Throughout that process, number three, you want to be working on your leadership skills, meaning that your goal is to become a better leader. And what I tell people all the time is that leaders are readers. You want to start reading certain books. You want to start watching certain things on YouTube. You want to just start being that person that's pouring into yourself so much that when it's time to pour into other people, you have something of value to offer. So again, develop those leadership skills, because the people that make money in a company are great leaders. The people on the stage are leaders. Your ultimate goal is to be a leader so that you can lead people to wherever they're trying to go while being a part of this opportunity. Then number four, you want to provide value. What is providing value? Providing value means that you are, whatever you are in the company, you're making it better. Your organization, what value are you bringing to the team? One of the things that I said when I got started in the company that was my value was I was able to get a lot of young people. So when I first started, there wasn't a lot of young people doing the business, but I brought so many young people that other young people started getting a part of other people's teams because they saw other young people doing it. So you got to figure out what is the value that you bring. And I promise you, everybody has some sort of value. You just got to go out there and bring it out of you, right? Number five, utilize social media. You got to utilize social media. Build your name. Become a brand. You know, people going to want to do business with you just because it's you. People hit me up every single day. They want to do the business. Why? Because guess what? It's me. I focus on building my brand. I am a walking business. Just think about certain celebrities that, you know, whatever company that they're marketing for that moment, the reason why those companies want to partner up with them because their social media, the value that they bring. And that's how you get paid. Jim Rohn said it best. You get paid for the value that you bring to the marketplace. So whatever value that you bring to the marketplace is going to determine how much money you make in the marketplace. You can still be a great person, but what value are you bringing to the marketplace? Number 6, following up. Are you following up with people? That's very important. Following up. See, I also use social media as a way to follow up with people, because if you're consistent and they see that you putting in the work, they see that you grinding, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna be like, man, this person been doing it with or without me. See, people don't want to feel as though you need them in order to be successful. You want to go out there and show people that, listen, the business is gonna get built with or without you. I'm gonna keep building it, but it'll be great for you to build it with me. But if you don't, guess what? I'm still gonna go out there and build it anyway. Again, number 7, stay consistent. Staying consistent is very important, because just imagine doing one thing good every single day. In 30 days, you'll probably become a pro at it. See, the biggest problem is that most people can't do one simple thing every single day for a long period of time. It's like telling some people, listen, drink a glass of water every single day, first thing when you wake up in the morning, for the next 30 days. Even though it sounds easy, most people just won't do it. And the reason why, because I don't know the answer. But guess what? Being consistent pays off. And that's the difference between those that's successful and those that's not successful, is that those that's successful, they was consistent, they was persistent, and they was out there doing it every single day. And that's how they got great at whatever they did, right? Number 8, attend the events. Attend the events. Listen, that's the number one thing. And 8 is it's a big number. It means a lot in financial, right? So I want to end with 8. And the reason why I attend the events, because this is really why I built my business. And I'm going to give y'all a nice story about how I was able to build my business by just getting great at just going to all of the events. So I remember when I first started the company, and in 3 weeks, we had to go to California, San Jose, California. So I got started, I think, the end of October, and the first week of December, it was the first international training event. I remember I went there, slept on the floor, and I took one person with me. It was one of my first business partners, and we slept on the floor of Regional Vice President Platinum, Mr. Adam Roop's hotel. I remember sleeping on the floor and never being able to be in California before. So my first time on the West Coast, I'm just like, I'm excited. It was just me and my business partner, and just seeing how big the opportunity was, it blew my mind, because I'd never seen anything like this before. But what it did was it inspired me to come back home and get to work. So I remember my first event took one person, came back home fired up. Like, I remember coming back home, and then we had another event coming up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then it was a blizzard that weekend. So it was a snowstorm. I remember my second event, and I think it was about 9 of us. And we took 2 cars, and we drove through a snowstorm. I'm talking about, I remember pulling into North Carolina and just seeing cars to the left, cars to the right, and somehow we made it. Somehow we made it. At that time, I remember that I think I had my Infinity at that time, and it was like 4-wheel drive. So that was the only reason why we was able to make it through that snowstorm. But I remember us driving through the middle of the night. Our parents didn't want us to go. They're like, man, y'all crazy, whatever. We still drove through the middle of the night, got there. From that event, came back, got promoted to executive team leader. And from that event of me taking 9 people, my next event, I think we took like 50 people. But then I got promoted to team coordinator in 6 months. And it really came from taking people to the events. And after that, I think the most we took people to events was like almost 200 people on my team to the event. I'm talking about people driving across the country through tornadoes. And man, we got a story for days. There's nothing that you could possibly go through building a business that I didn't go through, or people on my team didn't go through. Seen it all. And we were kids. So, but guess what? We still pushed and made it happen. And these events was the reason why I became a regional vice president by 24 years old. This is the reason why the company was still able to pay me every single week for 11 years now. Because I went to the events. They said the events is the number one thing. I got great at going to events. So when you just get good at just promoting the events, going to the events, getting your people to the events, I'm telling you, the business is going to grow. That's the number one secret. Get good at getting people to the events, because the event did all the work for me. I can't motivate everybody. I can't inspire everybody. But when people go to a place where there's many different stories, many different backgrounds, and many different things that can inspire them, it's going to push them to come back home and get to work. But if you just get great at going to the events and getting your people to the event, your business is going to grow organically. Because I'm telling you, the events do all of the work for me. That's the secret to my success. I just got great at the events. And still to this day, my organization, we're always present at the events. We're always getting certificates. Like, we've been doing this for 11 years. It's part of our system. Why? Because we're putting up numbers. We're getting new reps. We're getting new customers. And people are getting promoted. So every time there's a convention, guess what? There's people in our organization that's getting promoted. So guess what? We're going to show up. Because we know that we're getting promoted because we did the work. So again, if you go out there, you get great at attending the events, I promise you, you'll build a successful business. It's always a pleasure to be on these calls, share the information and things that I've learned throughout my journey, and just go out there and apply it. You know, it's not going to happen overnight, but if you just get good at just doing the simple things over and over and over, before you know it, you will now have that system in place. So I do want to pass the call back to you, Mr. Thomas, and I thank you guys for being on the call, and I look forward to talking to you guys again in the next few months.